Good morning guys, and welcome back to another video. Today I'm out on the V12 high torque after I did the firmware upgrade, and I've had a few comments where the people were saying that this firmware makes the wheel slower. So I haven't really digged into that comment, but I am going to do that just to check it out and see what the guys are saying. I did mention on the firmware update video that the little panel tells you a speed limit of 70, and then you can do a warning to 60. So I think it feels to me like the same firmware is running on the high torque than the high speed. I think the high speed can go faster, and that's why it's that default parameters that they were using. But I'm out on the wheel. What I did today as well, yesterday I lowered the foot plates, the foot pedals, to the lowest setting, so just to see if there's any major differences between the top, middle and the bottom, and I'll give you guys some feedback on the ride. But yeah, wheels fully charged. I'm going to go out for a quick little blast this morning and then feel how the wheel rides. I am going to also go next to the canal, so I'm going to get some gravel track and just see how the wheel rides. Okay, come along, and I hope you enjoy this little ride. Just want to give you the settings as well that I'm using. So there's the max speed, 60 kilometers an hour, and then the speed alarm of set to 50, and then it can go up to 70. But the high torque is not supposed to go up to 70 as far as I understand. Drive mode commuting. I've tried drive mode commuting and off-road. It really make a big difference to my riding or the feel of the riding. Pedal sensitivity 84%. Got the split ride mode on, and I'm sitting at speeding 60%, braking 40%. I just play around with this stuff while I ride. Yeah, that's pretty much it. Hope you guys can see and there's not too much glare on the screen. Okay, let's get going. Okay guys, just to give you some feedback on the ride height. Now for me, even on the lowest setting, this wheel is still a really good height. But I personally can't feel a big difference between the different levels. On the lowest one, the wheel feels for me much more stable and sort of a bit more, yeah, it's difficult, but it feels a bit more fun, meaning that it is easier to actually maneuver. On the higher setting, it feels to me like the wheel is top heavy. Now it's quite weird. It sort of feels like it's gonna fall down. Bizarre setup. But yeah, the lower setting, and I think that's where the medium setting just gives you that perfect balance between too high and too low. But I must say the lowest setting for me is morning. The lowest setting for me is perfect, spot on. It's higher than my Sherman, so that's actually brilliant. Pedals is nice. It's nice. It's solid. There's no rattles. That's sort of the nice, and there's no creaking. It's just really nice. And taking the pedals apart is that one little grub screw at the bottom. Take that out, slide the bar out, and then the pedal comes off. And then you can undo the 4 screws, unhook it, one level down, screw the 4 screws in, and it's nice, good quality screws and stuff as well. Allen key bolts, and it's just yeah, the quality. You cannot get away with the quality on this wheel. It's just absolutely phenomenal, really phenomenal. But yeah, that's sort of a little bit of feedback on the pedals. They fold open, they fold closed with a little rubber insert that pushes against the shell of the wheel, and it's just really nice touches. Let's carry on. So guys, this little section next to the canal, they did fix it, but I actually don't know if it's still this bumpy. But just so you can see if the wheel really bounces. Okay, I wonder if you could see that. I couldn't really see the screen to frame the video nicely, but this little section is much nicer because the cows don't walk there, and when the cows walk next to the canal and it becomes muddy, it's like small little potholes, you know, like about that size, little undulations, and it just becomes like constant up and down, and it's just super annoying, man. It's just like, and it kills your knees. And the thing is, with a smaller diameter wheel, you're going to get more into that little potholes compared to a larger wheel, meaning a 20-inch like the Sherman, or even the S18, where it's 18-inch wheel. It just rolls over stuff better. That's why the guys went from the 27.5-inch mountain bike tires or rims or diameter to the 29ers, because the 29ers can roll over. It's just bigger. It rolls over all the big stuff much easier. The thing is, for the unicycles or the EUCs and stuff, we can't go too big, because then the stuff becomes too heavy and too unwieldy to actually ride on the trails, because you want agility, but you want a big tire. You want speed, but you want a bigger tire, but or diameter to smooth out the rough terrain. But so it's a very much a finding the ideal wheel for what you want to do and what you want to use it for. That's pretty much the little message that I want to get over to you. You know, as much as a wheel is super nice looking or whatever, you need to make sure that the wheel is comfortable for you to ride. I was reading a comment this morning where the guy was saying the ST22 is such an awesome wheel, really nice looking wheel, it rides super nice and whatever, but he prefers his Gotway RS high torque. Boom, exactly that. The S22 is a big heavy wheel. You need to really fight it. As far as from the 2 times I've ridden it, it is a big wheel. Now a lot of larger people, heavier riders, won't find it difficult to actually maneuver the wheel. But me being a little a light rider, you need to really work the wheel to actually get the fun out of it. And his smaller wheel is just much more light and more agile. You don't always need massive wheels, because it becomes more. You need more effort to actually ride it. It's very difficult to try and explain to people how a wheel rides, because everyone is different. When I buy something, I try and take or watch as many videos as possible about something, take on all the feedback, all the little points, try and weave through all the excitement of a new wheel, that this is the best thing ever and whatever, it's going to make your riding the best and whatever, it's easy to learn on and this and that and the other. Take all that stuff away and then try and figure out, narrow down what you like in the wheel. And then at the end, if you can go and test drive a wheel, it's, you know, make a bit of effort to drive somewhere where you can, especially in the US, there's so many places where you can actually drive to actually go and try a wheel out. Here in the UK now, more and more as well. Speedy Feet, you can go to personal electric transport, you can also go to e-rides, and they offer demo days and so forth where you can actually go out and try these things. Or if you look on the forums and stuff, and there's a rider close by that is so kind to allow you to ride a wheel or ride his wheel or her wheel. Man, it just makes that decision so much easier. Because if you don't get that chance to ride the wheel, then you might buy it and then you don't like it, and you can't send these things back, so you're stuck with that wheel, and that's a lot of money, especially for a new rider or a rider looking to buy a second wheel to spend. So yeah, just try and make that effort to actually try and go out and try a wheel. Save you a lot of money in the long run, I think. Okay, let's do this little section. Let's do it. So just on that little section, just to give you some feedback. So as soon as the trail smooths out on the road and on smooth gravel trails, this wheel is really, really solid. And also, I came down from my place all the way down to the canal on the road, and thought it was a bike. And the wheel is just super solid. You know, it just really tracks super nice. On high speed riding, this V12 is just so nice and stable. It's and it's quiet as well. You know, I mentioned in my previous videos, it's so quiet. Get up to, what is it, about 50 kilometers an hour, and it's just like it just feels like it's planted. So guys, where you've got like long paths, you know, like the tobacco trail and all these things I've been checking out, it's just absolutely perfectly paved trails. And man, this thing was just cruise. And then on the range front, I've not done range testing twice. As you guys know, I'm not a super fast rider. You know, I like riding up to my limit where I feel safe and I can bail out and whatever, and so forth. And I get 40 miles. Even if I take it slower, it's 40 miles. Usually after 40 miles, I'm sitting at around 11 to 13, 14% max. V12 high torque, 40-mile wheel, starts tilting back, starts telling me get off, you the weakest link. But it's yeah, so just so you know, that's my range. You know, I was speaking to one of the guys that commented on my previous video, and he was saying that they get easily 55 miles, and he's a heavier rider, so he's also got a high torque. But yeah, bizarre. I can't make it go further. It's a pretty simple test. Get on the wheel, I ride, and then I get off. And then when it gets too low, I can't eke out more mileage. So yeah, 40 miles. Let's go. Okay, guys. I hope you enjoy this little ride. Just some feedback. You know, as I ride the wheel more and more, I try different settings and so forth, and just give you guys some feedback. It's again, you know, I'm a 75 kilogram rider, 5'11", so not super tall, and yeah, it's just honest feedback, really. I can't do anything more. And that's why I was saying earlier, you really need to go and try a wheel out. You know, go to a ride out where there's other guys, so you can try their wheels out and see if you really like the wheel. If I compare this wheel to my Sherman, just a quick comparison, my Sherman feels to me more agile. I don't know why. I've got the first generation Sherman. The first generation Sherman for me, I think that's got the lowest pedals setting. You can't change it, but it's very low pedals, and I do trail riding, same trails as what I ride this wheel, and it just feels to me more agile. It feels to me that it's more fun. But again, this is just my opinion. You know, I think if you're going to be spending loads of time on tarmac and smooth gravel trails, this thing is absolutely awesome. And I think you have to have the side pads, just to get the performance out of the wheel. But if you're going to ride rough terrain, you see, the thing is, I'm using this wheel to go to work and back, and there's sections of my trail, and especially in the morning, especially if you're commuting, I want a fairly okay ride. You know, it's if you have to work too hard, then I might as well just use the car. And there's really long sections where it's super bumpy, and this wheel just is too jittery, meaning it bounces too much, and it's quite hard on my knees. Yeah, I am quite old as well, so I think the younger riders wouldn't worry about that. You know, if you're older, you might worry about that. So it's just all these little things that I look at, because it works. I try and fit the wheel into how it will work for me, using it daily, spending the money and then using it daily. So I hope that helped. But man, I can't complain about anything else. You know, if it was an 18-inch or a 20-inch wheel, it would be a total different story. But for me, it rides very much the same as the Kingsong, was it 16X? KS 16X, I think, yeah. Solid wheel, build quality, the screen, everything just works really nice. The on-off button. I had a few times where I power the wheel off and the speaker goes like, it doesn't make the proper sound. So it's quite weird. But otherwise, front lights, these little light strips on the side, I would like to have that more brighter, but just small little things I'm complaining about. But the wheel is just absolutely, it's just a brilliant solid wheel, super stable, looks cool, rides really nice. But yeah, cool. Hope you guys enjoyed it. If you have any questions about the wheel, please drop it in the comments below. If you haven't subscribed to the channel, please subscribe. It helps a lot. And also, please like the video and drop a comment below, because that also helps share the video out and get more people involved. It's all about the YouTube algorithm and whatever. But yeah, I really want to grow the channel, so that's sort of the reason why. And also, I'm going to start mentioning this a little bit more, but I've got the super thanks now. So if you do like the video and you want to add a bit more money to it, if some people do, some people don't feel obliged or whatever. But if you do like the video and you want to buy me a coffee, you can click on the super thanks at the bottom, and then you can give me £1 to buy me a coffee. But yeah, guys, thank you very much for watching, and I'll see you on the next video. Cheers.